Tom, you spent some years too, just until very recently, as the Racial Discrimination Commissioner in this country as well. Yep. The Southern Cross has been raised recently in the discussion around Australia Day this year. Aboriginal filmmaker Warwick Thornton said recently the Southern Cross is becoming a symbol of racism in Australia. Do you agree with that?
Look, I haven't seen that. I have noted that there seems to be a far more overt display of people with the Australian flag and the Southern Cross. I think it's an area that we need to look at. I think it's fine to be patriotic, but there's different ways to express that patriotism without going out and bearing a flag. Things like devoting some time to community affairs. If our young people want to really show that they're Australian.
Well, let's talk Turkey here. Do you think there has been a misappropriation of the flag, if you like, or are we seeing an ugly side of patriotism?
Well, I think we saw that during the Cronulla riots, and the way that people did present themselves with the flag. I think that was a misrepresentation. I think we should all be proud to be in a democratic country like Australia. We all need to be proud that we live in a country where Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people are the longest surviving continuous culture in the world, and we need to celebrate that. But we also need to understand that we are a very diverse society. We have so many different nationalities here that by and large live very much in harmony with a few pockets of problems, but they're mainly perpetrated by individuals. Where there are any group activities, they're jumped on reasonably quickly.
One of those pockets of problems at the moment is in Victoria. We've been talking earlier to Victorian Premier John Brumby about the recent attacks on Indian students. He said by and large they weren't racially motivated. This is a very big question for you, but do you think that Australia is a racist country, or there is underlying racism, or is racism at the nub of the violence against Indian students?
Look, Premier Brumby might be in a better position than me to be able to do that because he has the advice from the police. Whether they are racially motivated or not, I think the issue is about whether that's the perception, is that how it's being reported by the media. So, we've got to really be conscious of how the media presents issues and doesn't overly sensationalise them. We need to get down and let the police do their job and to develop it. The irony is that in 1995 I went to India as a diplomat to set up the student market, the education office in India. And so I've seen the full circle. And can I just remind everybody that all students who come to Australia really do sacrifice to get over here to get a quality education. They make choices about whether they choose Australia or other countries. We have had a long-term reputation as a very diverse country, a country that's welcoming and supporting, that provides quality education. We need to be able to keep that going. And anybody who knows somebody who's a perpetrator of racially motivated action, they need to be responsible and make sure that the authorities know that and that they are effectively addressing those issues.
But as a black Australian who's worked for 35 years in Indigenous politics, you're not labelling Australia racist. Just finally and briefly, as you step down, what advice do you give to your successor, Mick Gooda?
Look, I don't think he needs any advice. Mick's a very competent and highly qualified person to do this job, and he'll play the issues as he sees them, and like me, he'll respond to issues that Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people raise around the nation. Our responsibility as Social Justice Commissioner is to provide advice to government each year, to the Parliament I should say, each year on how Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people enjoy human rights and how government policies and programs impact. And it's a pretty straightforward role. I wouldn't
have thought straightforward at all. The views you'd be getting, there's some pretty divergent views there.
They are, but they're monitored against the international treaty body standards that Australia has signed up to, and that's the key issue.
All right, Tom. Well, thank you for the work you've done over the years, and good luck with the rest of your life.
Thank you, Fran.
Tom Calma, outgoing Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander Social Justice Commissioner.